So just south of Orlando in Orange County, there is a city that has, in the best way I can put it, changed a lot in this past decade. And it's been attracting a lot of new homeowners here when previously they probably wouldn't have lived here before. Hey guys, this is Will, and today we are here in Kissimmee, Florida. Kissimmee is located in the heart of Austin County for those that don't live here. And today we're gonna be talking a little bit why people have been moving here and how the city has changed so much in such a short span. So undoubtedly the number one reason why people have been moving to Kissimmee is because of the affordability. As Orlando becomes more and more unaffordable for people and people are looking for more new construction and more new development, they're slowly finding out they're getting priced out of Orlando. So Kissimmee actually has a median home price of $305,000 and the rent's actually substantially less as well if you are looking to rent. But one of the biggest draws in the affordability is the new construction here in Kissimmee. Orlando really doesn't have too many new construction communities anymore. Lake Nona is where most of the new construction in Orlando is going to be, and you're not really going to find anything there under $575,000. So Kissimmee has offered homeowners a really rare opportunity to get affordable new construction compared to Orlando, because it still can kind of push up to that 400 range, which I'm going to talk about later. But to get more affordable new construction at a fraction of the cost you're going to spend in Orlando, and because of the way they've developed these cities so much, it really doesn't feel like you're in that old rural part of Kissimmee like it used to be. So reason number two why people have been moving to Kissimmee is undoubtedly the development. There's been a ton of private investment in the community and really throughout the entire city. Like most of Central Florida, Kissimmee is experiencing that development that they're making every community here a place where you don't really have to leave the community to get what you want. So they've really built a ton of shopping centers, a ton of grocery stores, places to eat, and everything you can enjoy right within your community, which traditionally for Kissimmee wasn't like that. So I talked a little bit about before how a decade ago people would not move here because they felt it was a bit too rural for them. That has definitely changed in the past decade. They've brought in a whole bunch of money into the community, and they've really built these communities up where you really can't even distinguish them from Orlando. So it's really become this great place where you can enjoy fun, date nights, family, and all of that, and not be far from a place like Disney and everything it has to offer over there, but still have that right within your community in which you live. Number three, which I think is a really odd one, so why I want to include this in here, is the variety you get in your communities. What I mean by this is there's a few different parts of Kissimmee I like to break them up to. You have your more northern part closer to Orlando and the Lake Nona area, which you're getting a lot of outflow from people who have gotten priced out of Lake Nona, and that feels just like Orlando. There's a ton of that development I was talking about with your shopping centers, everything you need right within the community. And then you have your kind of west side of Kissimmee, and that's going towards Disney. So you have a lot more commercial things to do there as well, towards the Loop. That's one of the biggest shopping centers they have here. You have all of your Walt Disney attractions, your hotels, resorts, all of that, Airbnbs. All of that is literally right over there on the west side. And then you have your south side kind of mixing towards Point Siena. That's a little bit more rural. The homes get a little bit more affordable down there. They still have these really beautiful communities, and there's still everything you need within your community, but it's a little bit more slowed down than kind of the northeast side and then the west side. So I think the really cool thing about Kissimmee is, unlike most parts of Orlando, you kind of get that diversity no matter where you're at in terms of, is this the kind of lifestyle I want here? This is the kind of lifestyle I get there, and this is the kind of lifestyle I get down there. And I think Orlando kind of suffers from that because Orlando is kind of all, for the most part, pretty monolithic. It's the city and everything's not, there's not going to be too much different in the culture of each place, but down here there's definitely a difference in what each part of Kissimmee has to offer, which I think gives homeowners that choice to choose where they want to live and how they want to enjoy their lifestyle and still be here in Central Florida. Number four, which is going to kind of tie into my last point I made here, is going to be the lifestyle. I think that the really unique thing about Kissimmee is that you can have that rural, more slowed down lifestyle and have those big estates and be a little bit more laid back than you can be in Orlando. And I think that's really good for people that, you know, don't want to be next to all of that noise that we have in Orlando and don't want to be all next to all that noise we have in the more larger cities. And even though this is a very big city with a lot of people in it, you can still kind of take a step back in some of the communities they have here where you can just kind of step back, breathe, enjoy that, and really enjoy that suburban life. And then if you're okay with commuting, you're really not that far. If you work in Orlando, you really have to drive 20 to 30 minutes, get down to Orlando and work where you got to work. But there isn't really a whole bunch of noise here per se, especially in the more residential parts. On the west side, kind of going toward Disney, it is a little bit more packed over there because of all the tourism here. But in this residential part of it, like where we're at now here in the Lakefront Park, it's really quiet, it's really calm. And I think people enjoy that lifestyle. I think people are trying to find that today, where it's becoming more and more impossible with all that development. So it's cool to get the development, but still kind of have that suburban, slowed down lifestyle that you're looking for here in Central Florida. Number five is really cool because it's really rare here in Florida to get it nowadays because prices are climbing so high. That's the investment opportunity you have here in Kissimmee. Kissimmee, Well, let me take you guys back for a second. I dabble a little bit in Airbnb investing, and I'll tell you that most of the Airbnbs where people are seeing the highest returns here is going to be in Kissimmee, Florida, where they have these large estates and they get Airbnb, they have them short-term rentals, and there's people making 5 figures in rental income a month beyond what normal rents get. You might be lucky to make a few $100s if you're out on a mortgage on a normal rental property, but here there's a lot of great chances for growth and expansion and collecting a lot of rents. So I think that's really unique here about Kissimmee, and people are seeing a ton of equity here. It's really risen about 21% in the past year alone. So people that bought a year or two ago are reaping the rewards of that equity. And if you want to go back to Orlando, or you want to move into a nicer, more upscale community here in Kissimmee, you can really just bank on the fact that this area is continuing to grow. They're developing a lot more rapidly than even Orange County, and their equity is growing way faster than you're seeing in Orange County because the prices weren't that high prior to the pandemic. So now prices are going up, they're sustaining, but they're just getting stronger. So people are seeing great returns if they bought a home here in Kissimmee, which you're not even going to get in Orange County. Polk County is probably going to be right there or right above it because Polk County is a little bit more affordable than even Osceola County. But the opportunity to invest, get in early, get that equity, and make a strong investment here in Central Florida, Kissimmee might be one of the very best communities to do it in. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little video here of the Kissimmee area. I think it's really changed a lot.
We worked our week, we need a day, 24-hour getaway.
Car shows, but stay for the fun attractions, unique shopping, and delicious dining. This completely walkable area is ideal for both day and night during your vacation. And the best part, admission is free.